Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Smoky Oak Barbecue Company. It is my favorite day of the year. Well, at least one of my favorite days of the year. We are doing our annual crawfish boil this afternoon and tonight. So excited. We did something a little bit different this year. Living here in north central Georgia, crawfish are a little bit hard to find. So I went online and did a little research, and I found a company called Louisiana Crawfish Company. And I'm going to put a link to their website in the description below. We had a great experience with these people. I'm not sponsored by these people. I had to pay for these crawfish just like anybody else. But they delivered them on time. They delivered them in good shape. I paid a little bit extra for the select crawfish, which were a little bit bigger. I mean, we've got some that look like miniature lobsters. Great quality. Can't wait to see how it comes out tonight. So let's get going right now. All right, so for our taters, we're just going to pierce them. That's it. We're not going to cut them. I'm just going to poke each one of them so that seasoning gets in there really good. Next up will be our onions. We're just going to peel them and cut them in quarters or halves. If it's a big onion, I would go quarters. If it's a medium or small size onion, I would go halves. Peeled. Next up, celery. We're going pretty simple. Cut the end off. Cut the end of these ends off. That's it. And next up, we have some fresh garlic, and we're going to use a lot of it. Just peel it off, put it in the pile. Alright, next we're going to season that water with about 8 lemon halves. Get those cut in half. We're going to be adding some smoked sausage to our boil. And this is some 4-star premium smoked sausage made in Georgia. Good stuff. We opted for the mild this time. In the past I've gotten the spicy, and personally I like it that way, but it gets so much flavor from the water that a lot of people think it's too spicy. So we're just going to cut that into decent sized pieces. And last but not least, we're going to do some mushrooms. Not that one though. Okay, so I divided this up into 2 plates. One is my lemons, my garlic, my celery, my onions, and my potatoes. That's going to go in first, and it's going to cook the longest. And then over here I have my sausage and my mushrooms, champignons, that are going to go in last and not going to cook as long. It's about time to get that water in the pot and get it boiling. All right, so we got our big old pot and our basket. And I don't know how big this pot is. It's probably 40 quart, I guess. I don't know. Big. Alright, we're going to start filling her up. We're going to go about halfway. And we're just using good old water hose water. Alright, so we'll let that water come up to a rolling boil, and then we'll start putting our lemons and our seasonings and our potatoes, onions, and all that kind of stuff in. Alright, we are at a rolling boil. We're going to start off with a bunch of powdered crab oil. I don't measure it, I just pour it in. But if you were going to measure it, it'd be about a half of a bag. Maybe even a full bag. Just season it the way you like it. Next up, liquid crab oil, Louisiana brand. Once again, use what you like. We're going to use the whole bottle. Go in here with about a cup of white vinegar. This will help the crawfish tails peel really nice. I'm not sure it does a whole lot for the seasoning or the flavor, but next up, Louisiana hot sauce. We like it hot. And last but not least, we're going to go in here with a whole stick of butter. Going to give it some flavor, and it's also going to help those crawfish tails peel really nice. All right, next up we'll get our lemons in there. I'm going to squeeze them just a little bit, drop them in. Alright, so we got those ingredients in there. We're going to let that steep for just a few minutes before we put our potatoes and onions and celery and all that good stuff in. Well, at this point in the night, so many guests started to show up that I was talking to folks and entertaining people, and my ability to narrate the video as I went along kind of got diminished. My attention was diverted. So as you can see here, I'm adding the taters, onions, and celery to the seasoned water because they're going to take the longest, so I'm going to go ahead and get those in there and let them start boiling. After the taters and onions had boiled for about 10 minutes, I went ahead and added the mushrooms and the sausage. Alright, so we gave all that stuff a good stir with the paddle so it could soak up some of that good flavor. In the meantime, we washed the crawfish. I messed up the video of washing the crawfish because I accidentally set the camera to time lapse. When the vegetables were done, we dumped them in a cooler and closed the lid so that they could stay warm. We went ahead and re-seasoned the water in preparation for putting our crawfish in. I just dumped in a little bit more crab oil, and we were ready to put those crawdaddies in that hot water. Basket. Woo. Alright. Anybody want to say a prayer? Still a lemon in there. So we got to let that come back up to a boil, and that's got to go for 3 minutes at a rolling boil. And then we soak. Well, it seems like everyone has their own method of boiling crawfish. For me, as soon as my crawfish have come to a rolling boil for 3 minutes, I shut the fire off and I add a bag of ice to cool that water as soon as possible. I also freeze my corn the night before and then dump it in, which also helps to cool the water down a little bit. And that corn will get cooked perfectly. It'll soak up a lot of that flavor, get nice and spicy just the way we like it. So we're going to let that soak for about 25 minutes. And we're going to be ready to put all this together and put it on the table. Well, after that corn and crawfish had soaked for about 25 minutes, soaking up all that flavor, we dumped it in that cooler, gave it a good shake to mix it all up, took it over there to the table, which was covered in paper, just dumped it all out for all of our guests. Everybody was so fired up for this crawfish boil. The flavor was amazing. The crawfish had soaked it up. They peeled so easy. The corn was awesome. The sausage had soaked up that spicy flavor. Everybody had a good time and enjoyed it. We appreciate you guys coming to see our channel so much. I hope you like it. Please drop us a like, drop us a comment. Please hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. And as always, God bless you all, and we will see you next time. All right, Tracy, tell us what you think about that.
It's really, really good.
Dad, you guys
This corn.
getting full?
Corn's got a little bite to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting my throat a little bit, my lips, but I ain't gonna stop.
T-Pain's all up in it.
Put that on a cracker, dude.
That's money.
That's money, dude.